Don't let anyone tell you it's too late. With any creative journey you want to take, especially filmmaking, it is never too late to start. You love the cinema. You want to create and be a part of it, to transport an audience into another world for hours, forgetting everything else. And just like me, you want to make something that will last beyond yourself. But you can't create if you are afraid of failing. That's why you must practice and make all the mistakes you can. You need the patience and willingness to put yourself out there in your work, and you can't wait for anyone else to do that for you. Don't focus on making anything perfect. Take in everything you can, learn from it, and improve your craft. This is the process of practicing cinematography, and I want to show you how to put in the work to get better and be proud of what you create. I will take you through how I take in, learn, and practice cinematography by creating a short film that works on my skills, to show you my process of how I look to get better every day, even if I don't have a lot of resources available to me. We all have to start somewhere, and maybe this is the beginning of your story. I consume and learn from any art I enjoy. If I'm watching a movie or a show at home and find a shot captivating no matter how simple it is, I take a picture of it. If I want to recreate it or use it as inspiration, I find a way of saving it for later so I won't forget it. I created an album in my phone's Photos app so I can save what I wanted to remember there. This also has locations I've seen or been to in case I want to film there, or just about anything else I can save for later if I can use it in my work. Bonus tips for the locations I've been to: when I take a picture there, I can swipe up on the photo and remember exactly where I took it in case I ever want to go back to create something in that exact spot. But if you see something in the moment that inspires you, save it in any way that is best for you to remember it. When I was coming up with my running cinematic short film, I watched anything with running involved. I needed inspiration as this was something I'd never worked on before, and I already had ideas but needed more to complete the full picture. And because of all the research, the final result was something I was really proud of. There are many different art forms and places where you can find inspiration. You just have to give it your time and be open to them. Now, I know I would be considered lucky to be born and raised in a place like New York City, and many of you don't have that privilege of being located somewhere like this that is really well known. But if you want to film in your city or town, wherever you are, and need inspiration for what's near you, I suggest looking for any form of media that is possibly filmed where you are or may have similarities to your area. You may not have the views of Central Park, but you must have parks where you live and you can make something from that. You might have access to forest areas or desert environments that I simply can't get to, so take advantage of that. You simply just have to go out and explore more of what's around you. Your environments could be more original or unique than places that I have access to. The point is, don't feel like you can't create because of the circumstances you can't control, but be creative with what you can control. I've created a lot in my home with limited resources, so you can definitely find a way to make it possible and still make it interesting. Now, this is what I did for this stage in the process. I recently rewatched Blue Valentine, and I've been sitting on this idea I had to use a monologue given by Ryan Gosling's character as the skeleton for a short film. Using this moment from the movie, I try to think of a shot list with ideas I've saved and inspiration from other movies I've consumed. I start to plan it out and use ShotDeck to remember and save the inspiration, as well as what I've saved in the folder in the Photos app. You don't get better at cinematography just by learning and absorbing what you watch. You have to continue to apply what you learn to your ideas and work, and then you'll see the improvement. You have to make as many mistakes as you can. As I've already mentioned, don't worry about making everything perfect. When you're practicing, the first thing to consider is, what resources do I have? From lighting to locations, props, set design, and anything else you can think of. Doing this can help you discover that there's more available to you than you realize. I didn't have the resources I have now when I first started, but I made it work and continued to expand what I was capable of. If you don't know how a shot was filmed and want to replicate it, look at the composition, lighting, everything about it, analyze it, and try to recreate it yourself with what you have. See how your result compares to it and think about how you can improve. Sometimes the way we film a shot versus the inspiration we drew from is something we are happier with than simply replicating a shot that's already been done. Every time you do something new, you might suck at it to start, but with every attempt after, you will get better if you keep going. You'll be able to figure out what works and what doesn't. If you want to practice just a single shot, try creating different versions of the same shot, changing the lighting, size of frame, or the props you use. Find ways to show the same scene that can be a part of different stories so you can learn more than just one way of doing things. Now, you can't just film standalone shots to practice cinematography, but I recommend you do this instead. Come up with ideas for short films for these shots to go in. You want to get better at creating sequences of shots that work together to tell even the smallest of stories, because having that skill is more important and necessary to be a better cinematographer, and you'll always improve faster practicing this way. Of course, we remember the bigger moments and stunning shots of movies that have incredible cinematography, but remember, the shots that lead up to those moments are just as important as when we finally get to them. This is what we do as cinematographers and filmmakers. We try to find interesting, compelling ways of sharing and showing an audience how the story plays out, and that doesn't happen within a single shot. I do the same thing when I create my YouTube videos. I see this as another way of improving my skills and practicing cinematography, so I try to get better with each video I put out, learning from my mistakes and using inspiration from everywhere. For this stage of the process, continuing with my Blue Valentine idea, I wrote a shot list with moments that could go together to tell a small story. Even if the short film feels more like a montage of shots, they can still belong together and flow properly if they build up what you want to express in your work. I pulled these ideas from movies I've watched that I wanted to try, random ideas that pop up into my head at the most inconvenient time, and maybe any other art form I've enjoyed that gave me an idea for something I could create. It's all about finding what you enjoy consuming and putting your spin and meaning behind it to put something new out there. If you need ideas for short films, take my idea of using this monologue from Blue Valentine. Create your own shot list and see what you can come up with. And if you'd like for me to check it out, you can also tag me in your work on Instagram so I can see it too. All that's left for you to do is film it. And if you struggle with this, or whether it's filming yourself by yourself, or your shots just don't come out the way you want them to, don't worry because you're not alone. If you need help with filming yourself, I already have a video going into tips that help me, and gear you might consider investing in if this is something you want to pursue or simply make easier. And whether or not you get the gear, the tips will help you as I've been filming myself and using them since I started my journey. But if you're not happy with your shots, see what needs to change to get what you want. Adjust things one at a time, from the lighting, altering the setup or intensity, or the composition you're working with. Don't forget the resources you have and work with them to improve your shots or come up with other ideas that are possible with what you have. I always have ideas that I end up scrapping because they don't work, but I can save them for later in case I can bring them to life after I learn more and have more that I can work with. I'm constantly testing shots to see what I can do until I get to a place where I'm happy with what I can achieve. I feel like I keep repeating myself, but this is what it takes to improve. Make all the mistakes you can and you'll figure out how to achieve the look you want one step at a time. Now, if you want to invest more in your cinematography abilities or other creative skills you've wanted to learn, then let me introduce you to the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. I've really wanted to improve my storytelling abilities using my cinematography skills, as that needs more work for me to get better at filmmaking, and I found a class that did just that for me. I've been taking this class by Joe Simon to help me master that skill and be able to recognize that ability in the movies I watch as well. This class really helps you understand why you might frame someone a certain way or light the scene for a specific mood, breaking down camera movement and even the gear you might use to achieve those aspects. This isn't just to understand how they do it, but why too, and I think that's very important for us cinematographers who want to create these kinds of projects. And I found this class on Skillshare. Skillshare is the biggest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes led by industry pros with a wide range of topics from filmmaking, design, illustration, and even improving your lifestyle and productivity. This summer is the time to finally invest in yourself and your goals by starting a learning journey on Skillshare to take your career, skills, or side hustle to the next level, so why not start today? If you want to join me and this amazing community, the first 500 people to use my link down in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. This will help you achieve your goals, and thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. You should always post what you create, even if you're just trying to improve your work by practicing and doing little films here and there. You want to see your growth and recognize that you are getting better, and the best way to do that is by posting everything you make. Whether it's here on YouTube or Instagram, anywhere at all, publish it. Throughout the years, I've been able to see the growth I've gone through, and I'm proud of what I've accomplished since the start. Doing this will show you that you are getting better, and you won't be so hard on yourself when you get stuck in a rut or feel like you haven't improved. You should also document your steps along the way. How you shot what you've shot, the camera settings or focal lengths you like, so you know what works in what scenarios, and anything else that can make filming easier for you in the future. Don't keep the work to yourself. Post what you create and how, and it can also help others learn from you like you've learned from others. It also gives you a chance to build your own community like I'm trying to do here. So with this process, here's a version of the short film I created, but I couldn't use the Blue Valentine audio in this video because I would get a copyright claim, but you can see the final work that helped me improve my cinematography skills. Hope you enjoy. I hope this gave you some insight into how I practice cinematography and my process for improving and getting to where I am now. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and drop a comment down below on how you go about practicing or any questions you may have. I'll see you in the next one.